Hello and welcome to our next YouTube tutorial. In this video we are going to be building a nice looking 3D business card. This little project will be created based on HTML and CSS. Before we start working on that project, let's go ahead and describe quickly what we're going to create. So here is our business card. The front side consists of two parts. On the left side we have a logo with the text web design. As for the right side, here we have some information about the person. Stuff like name, phone number, email and address. If we hover over the card, then it will be rotated in 3D space and the back side will be displayed, in which we have just a logo of the company. Alright, that's it what we're going to build. Again, all of this stuff will be created using just pure HTML and CSS. So here in VS Code we have two files opened, index.html and style.css, and also I have a folder called images, in which we store logo of the company. You are able to download the starter source files from the link in the description. Alright, so inside HTML file, I have prepared the basic structure of HTML document. Inside head element we have a couple of links. I mean links for Google Fonts, Font Awesome Icons, and also we have a link for style.css file. Let's go ahead and start creating HTML markup. Let's open development, which should be a wrapper of the card. So let's assign to it class name card wrapper. Next, I'm going to open another development, which will be the card itself. So let's assign to it class card. So as we said, card will consist of two parts, front side and back side. So let's insert here development with class name card front. The front side itself will have two parts, left and right sides. So I'm going to insert here another development with class left. So the left side will consist of two elements. First one is going to be an image. So let's open img element. Then in source attribute, let's indicate path of image. We have folder called images and we have to select logo.png. Next, we need h4 heading element. Actually, it will include two different words, web design. I'm going to wrap the first one with span element. So let's open it. Then insert web and then write design. Okay, that's it about left side. Let's open development, which is going to be the right side. Assign to it class right. It will consist of several parts. The first one is going to be a person. So let's open development. Actually, the part of the person will consist of two different parts. We will have font awesome icon on the left side. As for the right side, it will include the name of the person and also the position in the company. So let's assign to development class names person and then write content. Then insert here font awesome icon, open I element with class names FAS, FA-user-tie. Then we need to open development. Let's pass here h4 heading element with text John Smith. Then open paragraph and insert in it web design. Alright, so we're going to have four similar parts on the right side. Let's go ahead, duplicate the entire development 3 times and then make some changes. For the second one, we need here class name phone. Then change class name for I element as well. We need here again phone. Next, we need here both elements to be paragraphs. So let's delete heading. Then duplicate this line of code and insert here some dummy phone numbers. Okay, the next part is going to be an email. Let's change the class name, write email. Also, we need here different font awesome icon. Let's change the class. We need here envelope open. Then again get rid of heading element from here and change the text of paragraph. Let's insert here some dummy email, johnsmith@gmail.com. Alright, the last part is going to be for an address. So let's change class name right here, address. Then also change class name for iElement. We need here map-marker-alt. Then again delete a heading element, duplicate paragraph and insert here following text: Main Street 1, 2, 3. As for second paragraph, let's insert here New York NY. Alright, so that's it about front side. Now I'm going to create the back side, which is going to be a really simple. Let's open development and assign to it class card back. We need here just one element, which will be an image. So let's insert it. And as the source attribute, let's indicate path of image. Alright, so that's it about HTML markup. Now it's time to start styling. Let's go to style.css file. First of all, I'm going to create some reset styles. Let's get rid of the default margin and padding from every element. In order to select all the elements, we have to use an asterisk. And then let's pass here margin 0 and padding 0. Next, let's select the body element. I'm going to change the font family. Let's use here font called Montserrat Sans Serif. And then change background color. Make it light gray using color CCC. Alright, now I'm going to work on card wrapper, but before that, in order to make our working process more convenient, would be better if we decrease the size of the images. I'm going to do that from the HTML document, so let's go ahead and assign to both of the images width attribute with the value 150. Okay, so now images are smaller and we can move on. Let's select card wrapper. I'm going to place it perfectly in the center. For that, let's define its position as absolute. Then we need to set the top and left properties as 50%. And finally, in order to center element perfectly, we need to use transform with translate. And we have to insert here values -50% and then again -50%. Alright, so that's it for now regarding card wrapper. Next I'm going to work on the card itself, so let's go ahead and select it. At first let's define its width and height. I'm going to set width as 550 pixels. As for height, let's set it as 300 pixels. And also change background color and make it white. Now I'm going to start styling the front side, and I think it would be better if we hide the back side for a while. Let's do that from the HTML document. I'm going to assign to it the attribute called hidden. Then go back to style.css file, select card front, define its width and height. Let's make both of them 100%. Alright, next I'm going to place left and right sides side by side. For that, let's use display flex. And now I'm going to split the front side using the linear gradient function. As you remember from the finished version of this project, the front side is split into two different parts and the right side has a different color. So in order to achieve that, let's use background property with a linear gradient. Let's insert here colors. First one is going to be RGB 255. 255 and again 255. Actually, it's a white color. As for second one, I'm going to use RGB 38, 38, and again 38. Now I want to define the direction of color transition. So let's insert here as the first argument 100 degrees. Next, in order to split nicely those two colors, let's add to white color the value 40%. As for the second color, let's write here 0. So as you can see, now the front side is split nicely into two parts. Okay, let's go ahead and start working on the left side. Let's select it using class name left. First of all, let's define the width and make it 40%. Then I'm going to place content perfectly in the center on the left side. For that, let's use flexbox. Then we need to change flex direction. Let's make it column. And then in order to place items in the center, let's use justify content center. And also we need align items center. Alright, next I'm going to define size of image, but now from CSS. Let's select it, write dot left img and set width as 80%. Then go to index.html file and get rid of the width attribute from the image element. Now the last thing that I want to do regarding the left side is to take care of heading element. So let's go ahead and select it, write dot left h4. Then create some space around the heading using margin. Let's set it as 10 pixels. Then increase slightly font size. I'm going to make it 18 pixels. And create some space between letters using letter spacing with value 1 pixel. Okay, finally I'm going to customize the first word of heading. Let's select the span element, write dot left span. Let's make text uppercase using text transform, uppercase, and change color. Let's use here color 0 D5692. Alright, that's it about the left side. We have finished working on it. And now it's time to customize the right side. Let's select it, right dot right. Then define its width and make it 60% and change the color of text, make it white. Okay, next I'm going to select the right content. Actually, as you remember, it consists of two different parts, the font awesome icon and the text. I want to place them side by side, and for that let's use flexbox, write display flex. And also I want to align them vertically in the center. For that we need align items with value center. And finally, let's create some space on top and bottom using margin. Let's assign to it values 20 pixels and then 0. Alright, let's go ahead and start styling the first part, which is a person. Let's select it with class name person. Change its background color. In this case, I'm going to use color 1187AC. Then create some space inside box using padding. I'm going to set padding on top as 5 pixels, then 0 on the right side, 5 pixels at the bottom and 30 pixels on the left side. Also, let's add some space at the top and bottom of the box. Use margin with the values 30 pixels and 0. And finally, I'm going to create some shadow effect. Let's use box shadow with the values 0, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and as the color, write RGBA. Insert your black color 0, 0, 0, and the opacity 0.3. Alright, now it looks much better. Next, I want to take care of the font awesome icon. So let's select it, write dot right content, then I, At first, let's define width and height. I'm going to make both of them 35 pixels. Also, I want the icon to have the border. So let's assign to it values 2 pixels, solid and color white. And I want it to be rounded. So we need here border radius with the value 50%. As you see, for now, icons are not looking quite good. I want them to be placed perfectly in the center inside the circle. For that, let's use again Flexbox. We need here display flex, then justify content center, and also align item center. Now, as you see, they're looking good. Let's change background color. Use here color 1187AC. And finally, create some space on the right side using margin right 20 pixels. Alright, so step by step we are moving forward. Next thing that I want to do is to transform the name of the person into uppercase. So let's select heading element and assign to it text transform with value uppercase. Okay, that's it about the person. Now, as you see, we have to take care of an alignment of the rest of the parts. Let's start from the phone, select it, and assign to it padding left with the value 30 pixels. Let's duplicate this code twice. Change class names. We need here email, then address, and also change the values of padding left property. For second one, we need 20 pixels, and for address, we need 10 pixels. Alright, now we have to start working on making a 3D effect. First of all, we need to prepare the 3D environment for the card and also for its including parts. For that, we have to assign to card wrapper property called perspective, and we have to set it as 1000 pixels. Then we need for the card property called transform style, which should have value preserve 3D. We use this property because we need to prepare a 3D environment for child elements of the card as well. Alright, now like the front side, we have to style the back side as well. First of all, let's make backside visible. For that, let's go to index.html file and get rid of the attribute hidden. Then go back to style.css file. And now I'm going to rotate card by 180 degrees. For that, we have to use transform, then rotate Y, and inside parentheses we have to insert 180 degrees. Actually, as you see, front side is still visible and we don't need it, and in order to make it hidden, we have to use a property called backface visibility, and we have to assign to it value called hidden. As you see, the logo is rotated and we have to fix that. For that, let's select card back and assign to it transform, rotate Y with value 180 degrees. Alright, after that, let's take care of the position of logo. I want to place it perfectly in the center. For that, at first, let's make its position as absolute. Then, in order to define its position according to its parent element, which in this case is a card, we have to assign to the card position relative. And then define the top and left properties for the card back and set both of them as 0. Alright, so in order to center perfectly logo, let's use again Flexbox. Let's write display flex. Then we need justify content center and also align items center. As you see, the logo is not centered, and it happens because we did not define width and height for the back side. I'm not going to define it separately for the back side. let's go up and add here right after the card front another selector, card back. Then down below select card front, because those two styles belong to the front side only. So let's grab them and paste here. Now everything looks nice. Alright, let's define the size of an image from CSS. At first, let's go to index.html file and get rid of width attribute. Then select card back img and set its width as 40%. Okay, now it's time to make card working. At first, let's rotate it back, get rid of this line of code from here. I want the card to be rotated when we hover over it. So let's select card wrapper with hover. Then select card and assign to it transform rotate Y with the value 180 degrees. For smooth effect, let's use transition with the values transform 1 second. Now if we hover, then we will get really nice 3D rotation effect. Okay, actually we are almost done. The only thing that I want to do is to create some shadow effect, and also I want to make card slightly rounded. Let's assign to the card box shadow with values 0, 15 pixels, 60 pixels, and the color RGBA 0, 0, 0, and the opacity 0.3. Then in order to make card rounded, let's assign to it border radius with value 15 pixels. As you see, for now it seems that the front side doesn't have the border radius, and in order to fix that, let's inherit it for front and back sides. Right here, border radius with the value inherit. Okay, now everything is looking perfect, and actually we have finished working on that project. I hope it was interesting and you enjoyed it. So if you like this video, then please thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell in order to get notified on every newly uploaded video. Alright, see you in the next video.